How we doing?
How you doing, Tone?
All good, my man. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right.
Nice to finally get on with you.
Nice to finally have you on. We obviously have met. We did meet at 3D Fight Club, didn't we?
Yeah.
Tone, the thing that interests me about you is the self-training. You train yourself. And I watch your vids, and I'm going to play a little vid in a minute of just some of the clips of your stuff. And I watch your style of fighting, and I'm like, how the fuck does this geezer just train himself? Give us a bit of info on that, Time.
It's basically because I don't really like with my work and that. I finish work at all different times. It can be late. It could be working away all the time. You know what I mean? So I don't have time to have a schedule with anyone or anything. There's no local boxing gyms near me. That's like within a, you know what I mean, like an half an hour drive. But I would drive further, but it's just like time consuming. That they all have set times and stuff. So, but I just prefer to train myself. So. I built a gym in lockdown. It's a bit messy at minutes, so I'll only show you a bit. But
Wow.
yeah, I built a gym in lockdown. Started from scratch, and then I just started adding things and that, and then I just started training myself, and I just liked it. And then as I was winning my fights in the pit when I was training myself, I won. So I thought I'm not going to change anything. So I just kept training myself, and I kept winning. And 4 fights in, I still do the same. But even then, when on my 5th fight, I lost in the pit. I just still train myself. I don't know why. I just prefer it. I thought I've got this far. I mean, I do get tips off people, like when people like give like criticism, do you know what I mean, and stuff like that, constructive. Yeah, I do take stuff on board. I watch videos. I do my learning, I think, by visual, by watching videos and stuff. And like I've just been watching Danny Christie then about pivoting and stuff like that, things like that. I'll take that on board, and then I'll just do it myself. So.
What about sparring, Tone? Like, do you spar with people or?
No, that's the thing that everyone tells me I should be doing, and I know I should be doing. But no, I've never been done sparring about like I have done it odd once or twice since I started this in 2019. But no, I don't do sparring at all. But I am.
So you basically train in your little gym and then just turn up with literally no sparring experience or anything, just with a will to fight.
Yeah, basically, I always say I do my sparring in the ring or in the pit. Do you know what I mean? I know it sounds daft, like, but yeah, I don't know. That's what I do. I mean, I say, I don't have many people around here that do this sport or I can spar with. Do you know what I'm saying? I think the nearest lad that I can spar with is Andrew Shields, and he lives 40 minutes away. So,
What do you do for work, Tone, in the daytime?
I do asbestos removal.
Okay.
In the full face mask, sometimes.
Yeah. And you're working away a lot. Have you got family? Like, have you got girlfriend, kids, or anything like that?
I work away quite a lot, to be fair. So that's what I'm saying about my training. So that's why I train myself, because I wouldn't be able to have a schedule with somebody. You know what I mean? And have like someone training me on certain times and days, or going to a boxing gym for their classes at certain times. So yeah, I just fit it in when I can, as and when I can, and I do running and that. So I do my jogging and stuff like that. But yeah, full time worker.
When did you first like have a fight? Like, what age was you when you first had a fight? Because obviously, because you train yourself, like we can see by your style of fighting that you can obviously fight. You can take a punch. So, when was the first time you realised actually I can have a little bit of a tear up? What age?
I won't fucking hell, you're gonna laugh at me now. 30-year-old.
30-year-old.
3 years ago when I first started Spartan Wars, and I won my first pit fight, even though it went a really bad way. Like, it wasn't very good. It wasn't in a good way. Do you know what I mean? It was proper scrappy and that. But then, because obviously, like, before I started wanting to do bare knuckle in 2019, that's when I first started. I hated fighting. I used to avoid it at all costs. You know what I mean? So, and it was just what got me into bare knuckle is my mate doing it. So I was watching him on YouTube, and I was thinking I could do that. I want to do that. It was just like watching the video, thinking I could I could throw shots then when he's not throwing shots. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so I signed up for it. I signed up for got the promoter, signed up, put my name down, went there, didn't sell a ticket. I bought all my tickets myself, which not many people out. But I bought all my own tickets myself. Went on my own with a corner man and won. So then I just enjoyed it. Then I just loved it from then.
So before that, like before that age, 3 years ago, like how many, like even I'm going to ask about like pub fights. So had you had many fights like out,
There's
outside
not.
at school or
There's one at school I can remember. That were year 9. And honestly, I know I've had them drunk in town and stuff like that, but I can only vaguely remember like odd one or two. But you don't really remember them, and they're not really fights, are they? It's just, well, do you know what I mean? It's just a fucking spare moment under the influence.
What's your goal, Tone? What's your goal? Because obviously you're fighting Tony McIntosh. He's coming on next week. What is your goal like? Where do you want to get with the bare knuckle, mate?
Well, do you know what I mean? Like, it's funny you should say that because I didn't start all this for anything. For fucking nothing really, for no fame, no money, no nothing. No, the brand, like the team me and that I've created, none of it for that. It was just enjoyment of doing it for fighting. Like I say, if you could take the prize money away, take away your winnings and losses, and still, if I could still fight and do it in the ring and pit, I'd do it. So everything else is just an extra to me, like the winning, the losing, the fame, the fucking fans. Do you know what I'm saying? It's all just an added incentive to me. Like I just enjoy the sport for doing it.
Are you taking it like obviously maybe at the start you thought I'm just going to have a go, but are you starting to like look a bit more serious now? Because you've had a few wins and you know you're good at it as well. You're really good at it.
Like I say, well, after my first ever fight, well, it was before the fight. When I put myself into it, I really wanted to do it, and that's when I like, had a love for it before I'd even tried it, basically. So as soon as I put my name down, I was in, and then that was February 2019, and I had a fight in May, 25th of May, and ended up winning the Spartan World Lightweight title because I was supposed to fight somebody else instead, and then the lightweight title fight, someone pulled out, so he asked me if I wanted to do it, which were crazy, I know. But yeah, I ended up doing that and winning. So basically, I ended up with a belt then, which is there. And I know it's daft to win a belt on your first fight, but I just fight who's in front of me and for whatever belt's there, do you know what I'm saying? So that was the first time that belt got presented into Spartan. So with me winning that, I think that's what helped as well. Like, I've got something to keep now, and obviously I've got something, do you know what I mean? I've won something basically, so I thought I might be good at this. So I just kept going. And obviously, I kept defending my belt. I defended it 3 times after I won it. So that's 4 fights. And then so I got to keep it, basically. So, yeah. I think that's what kept me going.
So you was at 3D Fight Club 1. You didn't fight on that show. You saw afterwards all the shit about, fighters not being paid and stuff like that. Yeah. Obviously, you was at the show. What did you think of the show? I enjoyed it myself.
I say this fucking everywhere. I loved it for what it is for the first show, mate. It was fucking. You cannot fault it. There's nothing you can fault apart from obviously the pay-per-view, which is a technical error. You can get that anywhere. But for a first show, mate, people need to wake up and actually. I think people that slate it never even seen the show in general. They've just seen videos. Do you know what I mean? So they're not going to know what it was really like. But the atmosphere, the setup, the effort and put into it and everything were amazing. And I loved it for the first show.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And obviously, me and you got to meet each other, so it made it even better, didn't it?
Yes. I knew who you are. I spotted you with the crowd, didn't I? He said I wouldn't recognize you.
You did. So, I mean, moving forward for that, you've made the decision to fight on that show. You was obviously impressed, like you just said, with what you saw, and you want to be on that.
Well, basically, right, what it is that how I ended up on the show in the first place is because I was fighting for BFBA. I was fighting an Italian. I was lined up to fight an Italian, Gico, from Italy. That was supposed to be for 4th of June. That, and this say going back a few months now, well, 2 months. So on the 4th of June, I had Gico to fight. So about 2 weeks, it was exactly 2 weeks before the show. The promoter cancelled the full show on everybody, and just said, "The show's cancelled to a further date. I will contact everybody by tonight who will want on the next show in Sheffield, which the show in Sheffield is in July." So I waited for 2 weeks. About 2 weeks it was. Never heard nothing. So I just went, right, I'm gonna keep active. I'm just gonna jump on to 3D Fight Club, have a fight on there, and obviously see what, you know what I mean? Because obviously I want active, and I was I've been training and stuff like that. So it was just more to keep active. And then, sorry, as soon as I got my fight in 3D Fight Club, signed up to that and that for one fight, I got a message off Andrew Bakewell saying, I got a fight with you at 75 kg. Do you want to fight him? I just said, yeah. He said, let me just get his record. I just said, no, I don't care about his record. Just sign me up. Because I was ready for G-Code, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to, and obviously I'm with BFBH, so obviously I'm going to fight for him anyway. So, but it won't affect it, because obviously it's in 2 different months. So yeah, I'm looking forward to them both. So win or lose on my next fight, I'm straight in for the one after. And like I keep saying, keep going. Win, lose or draw, we're in for the next one.
Yeah, it's quite nice having you on, because probably you're one of the only people that I can speak to that I actually met at 3D and was there, that actually enjoyed it like I did and could actually say that without worrying about fucking idiots going in on us.
Fucking hell. Well, is there anyone there that went to that show that didn't like it? Because I haven't seen one person. It's only people that never went to the show, and you're going to get that no matter where you go. No matter how big 3D Fight Club gets, whatever, if they're in Wembley, you'll get haters saying something. Trust me, it's something you'll never get rid of, that, and that's trolls and negative comments from randomized people when you go viral. You just can't stop it. Simple as that. So you just learn to accept.
It don't really affect you though, does it? That sort of stuff.
No, not really, mate. If they've got the
you don't really watch it.
They've got the time and effort to hate me and check on what I'm doing and stuff like that, then be my guest.
Okay, Bud, can I ask you to promise me one thing, and I'm going to get all the fighters to do this. Obviously, I'm going to be commentating on the fight. But when you leave the octagon, do you know it's an octagon you're fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you leave the octagon, regardless of the result, there's going to be a microphone waiting at the commentary table. Can you dip down to the commentary table and do a quick after-fight interview? I'm not quite as fit as Joe Rogan. I can't get from the commentary table into the octagon, bud.
Yeah, definitely. Of course I will.
All right. What do you know about Tony McIntosh or McIntosh?
All I know is he's got the same name as me and the same initials as me, TM. So there's only one TM, and there's only and you're looking at him right here. So yeah.
Are you going to bring fireworks to 3D Fight Club?
I know nothing about the kid. The unknown are always dangerous ones, aren't they? So yeah, just keep it at that.
All right.
But yeah, it's going to be fireworks. So
obviously we can both see like 3D are trying to, the first fight show, with some, I don't want to be disrespectful, novelty acts in there. But obviously the direction 3D's going in now is for fighters like yourself who are disciplined and just looking to fight basically, and not go on YouTube and maybe make videos and.
Yeah, not negatively anyway. Like, do you know what I mean? If I upload it on YouTube, it's either something I find funny or something training, or I don't really upload it. Except I have today, like, but yeah, I don't really use YouTube, not as often as I use everything else. But yeah.
One last question. You know that pit entrance you did when you jumped into the pit?
Yeah.
Is that you do get excited, don't you? You do like it, don't you? See that entrance, like most people will be shitting themselves or nervous.
You do.
But you just like to do the Rey Mysterio, don't you?
Yeah, you do all three of them at the same time. You enjoy it, you're nervous, and you're like, do you know what I mean? At the same time, so. But you just got to learn to accept it and control the nerves. You know what I mean? Everyone gets nerves when you're going into a fight. You just got to learn to control it. It's part of the game. Some people don't get it. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, you got to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, just what you're doing in there. Do you know what I'm saying?
When you're at work, do you know, like for me, when I'm at work, when my channel first started, I never used to think about it at work. But like as it gets bigger and bigger, like you, as your fight career gets bigger, do you think about it like a lot of the time when you're at work, like getting through the day and stuff?
It's funny you should ask that, because I seem to eat, breathe, and sleep it.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's took over my life since I started with 2019. It's all I do. I don't know what else, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, I'm either doing something on my phone that's something to do with a promotion, or yeah, whatever I do is connected to it, basically, 110%.
Like for me, like I'm not a fighter, but we have the same sort of ambition with things. I think I can't really remember what my life was like before this channel. You know, I probably don't want to remember. Is that the same for you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, and I think like what I'd be doing. I won't know what I'd be doing now if I wasn't doing this and stuff like that. Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It gives you life, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It gives you energy, extra energy.
Keeps me fit, keeps me in gym. So better than doing out. You know what I mean? If I'm not doing this, I'll be. Who knows what I'll be doing? So I suppose it's a good thing, isn't it?
It is. Well, Tone, thank you very, very much for coming on. I love your gym, and I think everyone who watches this at a later point, and now I will love your gym. Respect to you, but I'm looking forward to commenting on your fight, mate. I really am.
Yeah, thank you, mate. It'll be a pleasure. And
it is. Thank you for coming on, bud. Thank you very much. And we've been speaking for 6 months, so it's been a pleasure to finally get you on.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah,
and I look forward to seeing you again at 3D Fight Club too, buddy.
Yeah, and you, my man. I'll see you.
Cheers, Tom. See you later on. Thanks, bud. Catch you later on.
Bye-bye.